What is up, YouTube? This is HeyhoBrando. Welcome back to another Pal World video. Yeah, this one took quite a bit to do, had a lot of stuff to do, but hey, that's what it's like, on to it. And we're actually almost at the end of this series, I believe. Really, I think after this episode, really the only thing we have left to do is 2 major bosses, and that's it. Now, I could probably do some other things after the fact of, making the video go longer, but really with what we set out to accomplish to really get to actually beating the game in terms of, getting to the final boss, I think we're actually almost there. We got either the end of the next video being it, and yeah, we can see how it goes. We can still obviously finish up doing all the overworld bosses like we said we would do, and that'll be definitely something that we do. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do today. So sit back, enjoy. Let's see how Pal World goes on today. Remember in the last video I told you about with the whole metal detector? Yeah, that thing was going on. So had to still go back to get the and just make sure I knew exactly where they were. I can't even remember if I did show it in the last episode or not. Probably did, but either way, just more so learning how this actually works. And I think what I should have done is actually made better points onto here to figure out exactly where they are. I do that after the fact, just not in this area. So if I absolutely do need these things, I just come back here. But lately with the things I've actually been upgrading, I don't actually need this, because that's the thing. I've actually gotten to the point where I leveled up to a point that I could actually skip a tier or two. So yeah, like I no longer have to build the heat or the cold armor of the new variants. I just have to either just have a regular one because of the undershirt that I have that keeps me nice and toasty and nice and warm, or just save up to get the best tier 1 at the end. But yeah, that's basically how it goes. So like I said, the main issue I was having right now was time. I was basically waiting for everything to be done at the base and just leaving my controller away, because it's like I gotta wait for things. I gotta wait for some of my places in the bases to get things going, to go and get materials and other things like that. So it's a slow process, at least for me. I mean, I'm doing this on my own and all these other things. I did not want to increase anything. I mean, at this point I'm level 80. I'm max level. I don't need a level, well, not here, but at the end I'm basically now max level. I don't have to worry about leveling up anymore. I don't have to worry about doing any of this anymore. It's all essentially now for me to just go around collecting all the things, getting everything going on, and getting the final thing. The last big area I have at the end that I can actually do in the next episode after I beat one of the bosses is to go to the World Tree to get those. I want to get to like the last tier of armor, weapons, get some of that stuff going on. But really, it's just all about, like, at this point, doing chores, going around, collecting bosses I'd never beaten, and, getting things like that. I mean, at this point, I don't even have to capture the pals anymore, because with the breeding, I could breed the powerful pals I'm going to need for it. These ones I don't need anymore. So it's kind of become obsolete now to get these powerful pals. Just to show you what I mean about this is literally me just AFK playing on my Switch right now as things are going on. I was either playing with my Switch or watching a movie as I just let the screen go. Just let everyone go about doing their things. Every once in a while, actually, after I capture new pals, if I do capture new pals, I'll actually redo the whole base on fixing them up. And the funny thing is by now I can have enough to make a 4th base, which I do want to try to make the official final main base for this thing. I want to try to make a mega base that I've seen so many people make mega bases where it has almost everything there and all that. I haven't increased the pals needed per base, because at this point I'm realizing maybe I don't even need to make a mega base. Maybe I can just have it where I can have one that's going to be for the ore, one that's going to be for the oil, and this one right here that just has like everything for production. Just bring everything back here. So like, who knows, I might fix this place up again, or I might just keep this as it is and make one more base somewhere in the world. We'll see how things go. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think this is when I was taking these like weird naps as I was doing these videos, because I've noticed as I'm editing this now, I would just stand completely still for like the longest moment and then barely move around just to check around the base every once in a while, and then I go right back to sleep, because I think at that point my my expedition was taking like an hour to do. Eggs were taking about half an hour to hatch, and I mean, I had a huge thing I had to do. Like, this pal steel was at like 1,000 at some point. It was just taking forever, and I just can't wait for at the point where I get the ancient furnace to really get things going. Decided to try one of these oil rigs. Yeah, wasn't really a big fan of it. It was either mostly because probably it was because it was like, this was like a really low level one. I just didn't really feel any anything really on completing it. I had more fun just blowing them up like that, aiming at the fuel tanks and blowing them up, and basically now using the brand new gun I have there. But who knows, maybe I'll go after the other oil rigs that are around the map just to see what they have, because I think the one big thing I'm going to need now is these ancient cores, and as you can see, I got new armor. Got new armor, and by the end of this episode you'll see me with brand new armor as well. Really wanted to get this pal for a water pal for the whale boss fight, because yeah, I've seen the clip of the whole fly you fat fuck. I think everyone has seen it at this point, and I was like, well, I need to have probably a water pal just in case. I was hoping to God that I could get it, and yeah, finally got it. This is like the third or fourth time I've tried coming to get him. First time, we've all seen that one didn't work. Second time, same thing. So finally, after about the third time, I was able to finally come over here and capture me a water pal that I'm actually going to keep on my team for the remaining of the playthrough. The Fey Break boss fight. Yeah, this one I've always wanted to do ever since they first came out, and I just never did. But yeah, no, this is actually a pretty fun fight for me, and I just enjoyed the idea of this pal fight at all, just like the ice and all that. I'm glad that I waited until the update, the 1.1 update, to see like the backgrounds onto it. I still do wish that Zoe got something of a different background. I'm not sure how her one would be different, but I'm glad that it looks like everyone's boss arena looks utterly different in some way, shape, or form, with this one having like the ship in the background and all that good stuff. You know, just seeing how things go. And then with the final few hits of my energy weapon, and yeah, this fight, I kind of almost died onto it, but luckily I was able to get through it and then deal with it. But I definitely knew I needed to upgrade my weapons soon, especially with the next fight. I do. Problem is that eventually I find out that I did not bring nearly enough ammo. I actually almost ran out of ammo, but one more boss fight down. We had one more to go. Getting back up to the tower, just making sure like, hey, was there any... did I have to go talk to him down there and all that, and get to the altar. Now, I was already there beforehand. This was nothing new for me. I just popped on over there to get some stuff beforehand, but now actually doing with the story and getting to the Skyline Islands. We're almost there, but you know what? Sad thing is, because I still have a lot of catching up to do to even be able to attempt this fight. Yeah, won't be here for a couple of hours. I really wanted to come over to the sanctuary areas, because I thought that there's to be like some pals that you just never see. Maybe there are, maybe they're not, but I mean, I've already seen them. Like, I thought that these were like something like overpowered or something like that. Now, I've been to all of them. There wasn't really that much. Like, yeah, there's some rare pals in there, but I mean, once you get a male and female of them, you could just go over and breed them again. There was only one area that was difficult for me, and that was because I kept dying there. But yeah, no, once I got all the pals I needed, it was more so the fact of I was never gonna need to come back here ever again. There was nothing really here that makes me want to come back here. I know that there was rare materials, but I haven't seen anything that I need of it quite yet. In the sanctuaries, I mean, they're easy for me to get past anyway. So the one ore that I said I needed to get, I found out how to get it much more easier with the whole fact of breeding, I was actually able to get a breeding system going on. And basically, it's just one of those other things I'm going to need for it. I know later on I can get a material that would basically allow me to hopefully fabricate it without the need of doing this, and hopefully it's much more quicker than this. But for now, I'm basically just waiting for the breeding, and then I just, once all the eggs are hatched, I come over, I slip them inside, and I get the ore that I need, because I'm going to need the ore to make the last bit of part so I can get up to the ancient workbench, so I can make the final, armor, weapons that I'm going to need for these last few hours of gameplay. This actually made me really excited, so I decided to come back here one more time to try to deal with these pals. I thought, like, okay, I'm stronger now, I got better weapons, my stronger powerful, can I get them? I got the one. So then it was all about, okay, let's focus on him, and I'm just realizing, geez, Blaze might actually whack that guy pretty hard, and I was almost scared of him killing him, so I was just like, okay, let's bring him down a little bit more. He's scooting around like crazy, and I was just like, okay, let me try to capture him. I'll see if I can call him back just in case. And then I got him, and then I couldn't really do a teabag thing, so I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna hop around, glide around. That's gonna be my happy thing, because I got, like, never gotten those pals before. I actually got a trophy for doing it, so I was really excited that I was actually able to get this. After hours of work and literally days, I think I'm actually in a couple weeks. Yeah, a couple weeks, almost a month of me doing these videos. We're finally at the last tier for Pal World, because as you're going to be seeing in a bit, I'm now able to make AI cores. Now, I was able to get this one right here at the far end, because I'm going to need that to make the last bit. But yeah, we can finally make AI cores. So one of the things I was saying as well about final things I wanted to do and final things I wanted to try are these raid bosses, the Bellinor being the first one. And the reason why I was holding back on a long time of doing these things is the last time I did a raid boss, you had to do it in your base. There wasn't this separate area that you could do it, and I was like, well, you know what, if I can do it, I can do it. Bellinor is so far the only one I can do. All my other pals are weak. I'm going to have to try to find a way to get that level up very quickly so I can get the other ones. But then I realized, oh, I can get the AI cores from those a lot more quicker than waiting an hour just for one or two. So that's going to be another major thing I'm going to have to do, is just get a bunch of these ones, because I did try to do the Blaze-Rue or Blaze-Amut Ryu one. That didn't work out at all. So I'm going to have to get some of like my best pals in here to see if I can get it. I do have an idea how I can fight the Blaze-Amut, but I'm just going to have to get a lot more stronger before I do that. Just a little bit of speeding on here. Wanted to show that I got my first ever Xeno Guard. Never actually seen this pal before, so I was like, well, might as well show the clip of me getting it. And then the final one is for me getting one of the final 3 armors of the game. Now, this is just a regular ancient armor. I'll eventually get the helmet in just a bit, but I just wanted to show it, like, say, like, hey, look, got some new armor. And now, I'm going to show the final boss, but beforehand, I'm not going to say anything for the intro. Yeah, I didn't want to say anything for the intro because I actually really did like it, and this was actually a brand new boss fight for me as well as the Fate Break one, so I was like, I kind of like this one a little bit better, so I wanted to show it all. No commentary, no nothing, just have it as it is so you can enjoy it. But this boss fight, like I said, I almost ran out of weapon with the new assault rifle, and even my Blaze Mud almost really didn't do all that well with it. I believe it's because obviously it's a water dragon, you know, water and fire doesn't mix, but unfortunately Blaze Mud is one of my more stronger pals, and I have been leveling him up in terms with the pal energies, so I was like, okay, let me just use that and finish him off, and I was like, great, I was able to do it. But that's all the time we're going to have for this episode today. A little bit more longer than normal, and that's fine by me, but that was mostly for the fact of when I was recording these videos, I was getting ready for my vacation trip. That didn't happen, and I had to figure out exactly where I left off and get things all situated for that part. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. In the next episode, we're going to be fighting a giant flying whale, and unfortunately I won't have a flying fat fuck to go into battle with, but I'll be having one of my new favorite flying mounts in really quick, so who knows on that. The big thing I just need to have now is making sure I have more than enough ammunition, and I gotta figure out how I'm gonna capture. I do want to capture that pal just to, you know, have that pal. I do want to have that giant whale pal onto it, and then we'll be going to the world tree, and then we'll be doing the final boss of PAL. Will I finish it after the fact? Probably not. I do want to at least try to make a video of me dealing with the other overworld bosses, showing all the overworld bosses been defeated, and also the raid bosses as well, just to get that going on. I don't want to do 100% on this. It's just more so like, what can I do that can make this more interesting. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. After this Power World series is done for this one, I'm thinking of doing a randomizer, and I'll actually do something quite funny. For every pal I get onto there, every pal I get that will be my fighting onto it, you can pick what pal you want to be named after. So leave a comment section if you see a pal that you want me to be or you want me to name. You can actually either say use my YouTube name or give that pal a name, and we'll see what we can do from there. This is going to be a complete randomizer, and I think me and my friends are actually thinking of making a Pal World Nuzlocke. We're going to be in the same world, we're not going to be working together, but we'll see how that one goes. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Until next time, this is HeyhoBrando, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.